Welcome back to another daily recap. First, we're looking at levels on the SPY chart that have been identified before the opening bell. You can see that it's about 8:20, almost 8:20 a.m. Eastern right now. The market opens in over an hour. We use these levels and other tools to enter trades in the E-mini futures. Speaking of the futures, in the overnight session, they got to their own 75% retracement. Remember how yesterday in the SPY they climbed up through the 75 without much reaction? Well, could it be that the destination, at least an interim destination, was that retracement on the E-mini chart? Don't know for sure, but since they got to that area, they've been trying to roll over. That's what it looks like currently, at least. It's a Friday in the middle of the summer. Usually that means the market is likely to be slow, and the path of least resistance in a slow market tends to be up. Will they continue this bearish push, this short squeeze today, or will they stall out, or maybe even fall a bit? The market will tell us these things in real time, of course, but in the meantime, we have some levels and zones that should provide some reactions if the SPY gets to them. As of 8:21 Eastern, they are below where they closed yesterday, 551.56. I have no levels of significance until this zone around 548.80ish. And you'll notice there are a number of levels and a couple zones higher up. They are all important areas, and under normal conditions, they should react a little or a lot from most of these areas. I would say that yesterday's market conditions was slightly abnormal. I mean, that's relative, right? The market's going to do whatever it's going to do every day. But when there are important levels on the board, price tends to react to those levels while the bulls and bears fight it out. Also of note, there is a 10 a.m. Eastern data release that may have some effect on price. So we'll need to keep an eye on that. But we'll find out what happened today when we come back to this chart and talk about E-mini trades that may have resulted from these levels here on the SPY chart. Catch you on the other side. It is after 5 o'clock now, and this is the price action in the SPY for the day. Before we jump into the discussion about the trades that were possible based on the levels from this morning, take a look at this. Right after making the morning video and sending out the email to those of you on my list with the levels, I was looking at the pre-market activity and saw how they had spiked up to this zone and promptly get rejected. And they were looking a little weak at the moment. And based on a couple other things that I was looking at, I decided to do something that I don't do that often. I jumped in on the short side with a few contracts as it looked like they were teetering and getting ready to fall. Now, this isn't something I would normally advocate doing. But then again, in the trading course project that I'm in the middle of developing, I try to convey the very things to look for to give you the confidence to take trades like this. In any case, this was a trade before the opening bell, and that's just not something I do a lot. So I went short with 3 contracts. Start playing this here. Looking for a handful of points, say with 2 of the contracts, tended to trail the remaining 1 contract down for however much I could get. So as it turned out, it was a perfect place to go short at. Quickly had 10 points on the first 2. And after I got the trailer, like on this position, I started screen recording this trade so I can use it here in this recap video. So $1,000 is already closed out, and you'll see me stop out this last part position at about $400. Recording kind of slows down toward the end here. So this is, you can see what I've done here. I've got a target down here. If they come down above this zone here, or if they go up, I'll get whatever I could get on that remaining trailer, remaining 1 contract. So I'll just move ahead here toward the end. Okay, back up here. Here we go. This is real time. I slowed this down because I didn't really want to be in this trade at the opening bell. And so moved it up to right there, 400. And they came down and filled that, and that was pretty much it. So not a bad way to start out the day, $1,400 before the opening bell. So back to the full day now. So you're playing by the rules. What would you have done? It was pretty easy, actually. 2 trades across 3 levels. You can see they were all, these 3 were hit. The first one, a pretty clean and simple base hit by going short at 553.10, or as adjusted with the 5-cent buffer, would be 553.05. Either way, it would have worked. I did take this trade, got a base hit, and I did not adjust this level just to get a slightly better price, but that's the first base hit right here. I'll go ahead and make this dotted so it's done. I'm not going to take any more short trades, but if they get above and come back down, other things could come into play. The second trade would have been another short at the bottom of this zone at 554.35. I do not adjust the levels when they're part of zones. The idea is this whole area is one big fat level. You just go short in the area and follow the protocol for managing the trade or trades. In this case, you would have added to your position as they went up into the top part of this zone. And on that combined position, you would have had another base hit. They never even got above the fumble threshold. So effectively 3 base hits. And that was it for the day. You're not going to touch these levels up at this zone again for more trades, at least not on the short side. I did not take this trade up at the zone after my decent morning before the opening bell and the quick hit around 10 o'clock in the morning. I just closed up shop around 11:30 or so and just worked on other things. But we can take a look at the base hit over here that I scored because I was recording it. So I already have the fumble threshold, the red line, the profit target, 552.70. So what you saw me enter in the system right there, that flashed by there, was in order to say if the SPY gets greater than or equal to 553.10, then sell at the market. I was going to sell 2 contracts. That's what I did. So I'll just move ahead here. Show you. Oh, it happened pretty fast. There we go. Coming up into this level at 553.10, and there you go. Short 2. Just looking for a simple base hit. Didn't take very long. There you go. So that level was satisfied, and as I said, I didn't do a whole lot after this. Closed up shop around 11:30 or so. They're still hanging around this area, so no recording after this and no more trades for me. But pretty good day. Not complaining. Over on the log, the playing by the rules log, 12 points, and you can read how that happened. Here's my notes across these 3 levels, and you can just look at the metrics. My trades were the same. I just did them a little differently. So before the opening bell, I had some points on that 3 contract trade, took a base hit at level 3, and just ignored these. I was not even in front of my computer at the time. Pretty good day. And, once again, I'm showing these logs so you can see over time how they work. If you had the levels and traded them for, any of these days for that matter, then you can see what you can expect in the long term. I try to show as many of these trades as possible when I'm able to do so. But that's it. Don't have any more. Well, there's things I could talk about since it's the weekly close, the daily close, weekly close, and kind of where they're at in the middle of the month and all that. But I think I'll save that for another video. Just want to kind of get on with my weekend. And speaking of, I hope you have a good weekend yourself. And we'll be back at it on Monday morning, new levels. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.